Hello, welcome to Scott's Odyssey. Today we're a little bit on the unscripted. I'll get the script together after the fact, but took a little trip up into the Tionesta area to bring you a very special object that's here as we come out of the water. And that object is a bridge named after the town that once was here, but now exists only underwater. We'll get more into that story later. Welcome to the Nebraska Bridge. See you in a minute. Everybody, all I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper cup of coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper coffee pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper cup of coffee pot, I want a cup of tea. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper cup of coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper cup of pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper cup of coffee pot, I want a cup of tea. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper cup of coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper cup of pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper cup of coffee pot, I want a cup of tea. Feather and the feather and the bird and the bird and the egg and the egg and the bird and the bird and the nest and the nest and the limb on the branch and the branch and the tree and the tree and the hole and the hole and the bog down in the valley. Oh. Hey there, little buddy. How you doing? Yeah, that's your insides on the outside.
Yeah.
You got squished. Good luck out there. Feed somebody. Welcome back. If you've watched my videos before, thank you for your patronage. And if you're new to Scott's Odyssey, welcome aboard. In 1827, George Meade obtained a land patent for a particular parcel of land found just east of the Allegheny River in the town of Saltpeter along the Tionesta Creek. In the early 1830s, it was owned by the Ford sisters who ran a mill, leading to the name of Ford Mills. Later on in 1848, the surviving Ford sister, Caroline, married George S. Lacey, and the area went between the names of Ford and Lacey Mills as well as Laceytown. A lot of the area was sold off in lots to people who established a hotel, grist mill, and other lumber-based industries, such as the Nebraska Lumber Company. In 1855, a post office was established and referred to the entire area as Nebraska, Pennsylvania, based on the story handed down from George S. Lacey's son, Andy Small, to his son, Edgar K. Small. The name was chosen because Andy Small loved the state of Nebraska so much. During the late 1800s, all of the areas surrounding Nebraska, as well as Nebraska itself, were eventually purchased by Truman Dowd Collins. T.D. Collins had his fingers in oil wells and gas wells all along the Raccoon Creek, which later became known as the Fox Creek and today is called Turkey Run. To say T.D. Collins was anything less than a full-blown magnate and philanthropist would be the understatement of the millennium. But the story of T.D. and his workings will be for another show. Along with many of the industrializations taking place in the area, the main bread and butter for everyone always came back to lumber work, where the logs were floated down the Tionesta Creek to the Allegheny River. The Tionesta Creek at some point became the Tionesta Creek in name. When this transpired, I was not able to track down, but up until 1908, it was still called the Tionesta Creek on all of the maps. The actual Nebraska Bridge holds a lot of fame for a couple of reasons, but its name is based on it being the namesake of the town of Nebraska. As people started moving into smaller villages they were creating just north of Nebraska, and as the use of a ferry or boat to cross the river began to wane, it became necessary to put a bridge in place for vehicles to reach Nebraska from the north. In 1933, a bridge crossing the Tionesta Creek was erected with the intent of providing a clear route of passage through the entire Nebraska Valley. That is until 1940, when the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers had finished their determinations on how to mitigate the nature of floods just after completing the damage control of the 1936 St. Patrick's Day flood. That mitigation took the form of a series of dams to create barricades and steps for the floodwaters to be better contained and released at slower or lower rates into their floodplains. One of those was the Tionesta Dam, created just 4 miles downstream from Nebraska. The unfortunate adverse effect of this dam was significant backflooding that would flood the entire Nebraska Valley, including this particular bridge. The Nebraska Bridge has seen its fair share of floods and ice jams over its 90-plus years of life, most of the time being barely visible as nothing more than the tops of the arches, and rarely a day with the water being below any lower than 6 or so inches from its girders. But it has survived, intact, with little to no damage, and even shows its battles by hanging the dead tree debris from the floods as badges of honor. Let me know in the comments below if you like stories and locations such as this one of the Nebraska Bridge. My research is limited only by the information that people do not share openly. Help me break that barrier, and let's share the history and culture of who we once were. So if you enjoyed learning about the Nebraska Bridge, be sure to give the video a like. Comment down below what you actually liked about this bridge and the history behind it. And be sure to subscribe for more episodes of weird and odd and strange and great pieces of history out of Pennsylvania. As always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.